What's up, everybody? Welcome to the best 120 minutes of your day. Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. But we're broadcasting all over the world via Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And today, ladies and gentlemen, today is Women Rock Wednesday. And I'm just going through some stuff. I got to share the show. I can't wait to get the show started. I can't wait. Got a special guest gonna come on at the end of the around 1 o'clock. There's some things that what happens is when I see things that happen out in our community, I address them, and I just want to see what's happening. I want our people. I want y'all to sit here and watch and listen and be in a position where you can. I want y'all to look at it. I want y'all to be uh, more mindful. I want y'all to be critical thinkers about certain things. So I'm just sitting. I got some stuff going on. I saw a tweet and I saw a little tweet. And I said, hold up. Okay. People tweeting about something. Let me go to the source. I don't, I, Let me go to the source. I don't like, if I got a problem with Belinda Johnson, I'm going to her. I'm going to the source. I'm not finna go ask Eric Harrison about it. I'm gonna call. So it's just some things was happening, and I saw this tweet and people talking about stuff, and I just want to get it clear, and I want y'all to sit here and help me get some stuff clear, and it's gonna happen a little bit later on in the show. I really want y'all to. And that's just show. That's why I love when y'all bring y'all bricks. Y'all don't understand. I know some of some of y'all feel I'm helping y'all, but boy, y'all helping me. It's some things yeah, y'all helping me too. So we helping each other. So, but just unique stuff, man. I got to finish. I got to finish talking about my people, man. My Johnson Publishing company people. I got to finish it. I got to finish it. It's a unique close to it, and I was just trying to see how I'm gonna close it, and I'm not gonna know what I'm gonna say until I ain't gonna tell you no lie until until we get up here and get to talk. I'm still sharing. Hold up, I got one more share to do. Who I used to share to? Okay, I got to share to Twitter. But I'm just waiting on y'all to share the show. Well, don't seem like y'all done shared nothing. I know y'all be saying, man, I don't want everybody to get all this. Yeah, I know what y'all be thinking. I know. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. But people need to know some of this stuff. People need to share this stuff. That's how we learn. That's how we learn in life. We got to share. You can't sit up here all the time and just hoard everything. We got to share. I thank God, man. I'm telling y'all, man. I tell y'all, if I had, boy, I got two guys on this feed that are amazing. I ain't gonna even embarrass them, but they're amazing. Two men on this show, man. We some need to be done. I called these two guys, and they said, let's just get it done. We ain't got time to go to all that old. What we need, Hatter. That's that's what when we all get there. And like tomorrow, because I might not finish it. everything today, but it's tomorrow. I know I got another topic that I want to talk about. I got to talk about us sometimes, man. Uh, I'm sitting there thinking about something. Um, and I'm gonna give people a chance to get on because I'm gonna finish the Johnson Publishing thing. But did anybody go to or attend the Big Three? I didn't even know it was in town. That's got to be the stupidest stuff in the world. Whoever they PR people, I didn't even know they were in town. See, who is that was talking about that being a black-owned business, a black-owned, who is that on that? Keep it easy, sister. I hope y'all let me know when you get on here. Man, there's no way. We got impact. We got impact. The people that listen to this show can touch a whole lot of people. We just, that's why I keep telling y'all, these people don't respect numbers and numbers. That's why we got to get the number. It ain't, we're going to have the same message, but we're going to be able to get them to the other people. There's no way that the Big Three should have came to town and said, no, nobody said, man, you need to come on Chop Shop. Did anybody? See, y'all didn't even know. I bet you know about Joe. Think about it. Can y'all hear me? Am I muted? Because ain't nobody said nothing. Ain't nobody said nothing. Hold up. Did anybody know the Big Three was in town? Ice Cube's Big Three. Did anybody know? Please share the show. Y'all share the show because y'all too quiet. Daryl Anderson ain't gonna never say nothing, so I ain't worried about him. Ladies and gentlemen, somebody talk to me. Nobody heard of the Big Three. Nobody. Okay, you didn't. Okay, that's all I need. Somebody to say something. Nobody. Think about this, Belinda. This show that has a whole lot of grassroots community. Let me ask Big Doug, did he know about it? I'm serious. Some of this stuff I just don't understand. And then people wonder, well, they didn't support me. How the heck we didn't know? Think about that. No, I mean for real. See, y'all, I really care about us. I really, let me see, did you know? I'm just curious. Think about that for a moment, Belinda. Think about that for a moment, Brandon Weefall. Think about that for a moment, Thaddeus Moody. Eric Harrison. Eric, you didn't hear about it either, did you? Doug said he heard about it on Sunday. I had. I'm going to ask him, where did he hear about it? It's stupid. It's asinine. Where did you hear about it? King Sticks. Oh, the only reason he knew because somebody asked him, did he want tickets? Wow. How did you know about King Stick? And why didn't you share it with people on the show? Daryl Anderson, why didn't you share? Why didn't you share it on the show? I don't care if they didn't advertise on the show, but why you could have shared it so people could have known. What if I come on here every day and just don't say nothing about nothing? Then a lot of people, it's just a lot of this stuff y'all wouldn't know. You must share information. He saw clips on social media, but you could have shared it on the Chop Shop. You found out, oh, you found out on Sunday morning. Okay, I got you. I got way, ain't no way you could share it. But I mean, it's just weird. Y'all, some people, man. But then if something don't happen, if it goes under, they'll say what? People didn't support us. But shit, we don't know. Y'all think y'all can just run an ad on social media? Everybody don't look at social media all the time. I ain't got time. I'm reading a book. Let me keep going. God. Then I saw this. Well, I'm a Houston Rockets fan. I'm a Houston Texans fan. What is that boy got on? Look like it's the first day of 7th grade. That's y'all QB1? I want to know. What do y'all think about him? Y'all know how I think about him. Them 4 damn interceptions, them four interceptions and turnovers. They had 5 turnovers in their game. What y'all think about him, man? That thing that got 1 million views. That's a tough look for a QB1. Didn't he look out of shape? They in contract talks right now. Barry McDonald, I ain't gonna lie, man. If I had to represent that boy right now, I don't know what I'll say if I go up in there and talk to them Texans. I'm gonna tell you, just right now, he done lost his aura. You remember he used to talk about he the top, Sterling Crease, talk to me. Thank you for the thumbs up, everybody. Hold up, Mr. Hatter. My beautiful queen, Trice. You done wrote her name wrong too, Doc. Trice has been invited to speak at the ITWLA conference in London in September, and her upcoming book, and Q5, The Human Upgrade, I Can't Replace. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Hold on. Let me put my sister up there. Yeah, you know I know the name now. Man. They gotta go into London. We gotta talk about that when we get off the show. We gotta talk about that. That's my Miss Trice Harrison is a woman that rocks today. She rocks. They bringing a black woman all the way to London to speak. Listen, y'all know where London is? All the way, Aaron. Houston, Texas. Husband on the chop shop. All the way. So when she flies over there and speak, she represent me too. Y'all feel me? She represent me too. Her words gonna be our words. That's amazing. I'm just, you talking about you proud. I'm sitting there, I'm just sitting there saying, everybody woman don't be asked to speak overseas. That's, I told y'all the people we got on this feed. I know y'all just, well, I'm just gonna turn out here today and hear Robert talk. No, we got connection. I'm gonna get back to that. That's my sister going across the water. Y'all gonna get it. Y'all gonna get it. Y'all gonna get it one day. Unbelievable. Boom, boom, boom. Chat. When she go, all of us go. I know y'all can't fathom because a lot of people so selfish, but when she goes, all of us go. When your son, or when your daughter, when your wife, or when your husband do something, all of us go. Then I look, y'all, I wanted to try to bring it up, y'all. Try to put it up, because it's kind of, I ain't never did it before. But I want y'all to look at something. I got to show y'all this, man. Because, I got to show it to you. I got to show my people. I can't have my people out here bad. I don't understand something about college basketball. This ain't college sports. Something ain't right now. Something ain't right. Y'all, I sit here and looked up. Somebody sent me something, and I want to show y'all something. I hope y'all can see that. That's LSU's basketball program right now. LSU in the SEC ain't got but 4 players. They got more coaches than players. Hold on. They got coaches galore. Hold on. Let me see, can I put this thing right here, right? Hold on. I wish I could hold it bigger. Hold on. So I can, look, watch the coaches. Hold on. Look how many coaches they got. Look how many coaches. That's 2, 5, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. He got 16 on the support staff. Please get him off my screen. How in the hell in this July, almost August, you got 4 players? But I know I can't get sidetracked. Let me give you the rest. It's Women Rock Wednesday. I got to give you the rest of the Jet story. But we're gonna come back to that. But where did I stop? Who knew where I stopped yesterday? Who knew where I stopped yesterday about the Jet magazine story? Who knew where I stopped? Huh? What chapter was I in? What chapter? Brandon, we're going to talk about this, man. Cause it's going to take, because I got a guest coming on. We might actually guess a little bit. Yeah, because he know about bass. Yeah. I'm going to say that one. So, yo, where did I stop? That is Moody. I can't believe you don't remember where I stopped. Where did I stop? No, I went way past. No, I went past 4. I started really. So wait a minute, y'all telling me? Hold up. No, because I told y'all about his son. Didn't I tell y'all about his son died? The son he could not save. Did I tell y'all about that? No, I went past. Did I tell y'all about did? Yes, I talked about her using her wealth to prove that black customers deserve luxury. Yeah, I went there. Didn't I talk about the son that he could not save behind all the the $1 million checks in the Paris fashion show? No, and I told y'all about John and Eunice were carrying a heavy burden. For 20 years, they had tried to have a biological a child. I didn't talk about that yesterday. Undergoing painful tests at the Mayo Clinic, only to be told there was no explanation for their infertility. Oh, this is where I stopped. Right here. This is where I stopped. In 1965, they made a decision to adopt. They brought home a new baby boy and named him John Harold Johnson. Yes, that's where I stopped. I know where I stopped now. He said they aren't simply putting they aren't the owner teams. Then I know they still recruiting, but I've never seen this before. We're gonna talk about it in a minute. Somebody just text me. Okay, all of this new. Because I talked about the fashion fair. Oh, hold up. Okay. Did I tell y'all? Hold up. Uh, yeah, I said mainstream media. Yeah, I talked about her designer pieces. She was a titan of industry who operated in the shadows of her husband. Talking about Eunice Johnson, about her contributions was vital to the company's bottom line and their cultural prestige. I got past all that. I remember talking about that. And so chapter 5, yeah, I got through chapter 4. Y'all right. Chapter 5, the son they could not save. Behind the $1 million checks and the Paris fashion shows I told y'all about yesterday, John and Eunice was carrying a heavy burden. I'm repeating it. For 20 years, they tried to have biological children, undergoing painful tests at the Mayo Clinic, only to be told there's no explanation for their infertility. All this money in the world, I can't get my wife pregnant. All this money in the world, and I can't give my husband an heir. Y'all follow me? In 1965, they made a decision to adopt. Up until I learned about this, I didn't know Linda Johnson Rice. I didn't know she was adopted. They brought home a new baby boy and named him John Harold Johnson. I didn't know this. 2 years later, they adopted a girl named Linda. I know a lot about Linda. John Sr. was transformed. Listen to this. All this money, but he was transformed by fatherhood. The man who had spent his whole life building an empire, y'all listen to this, daddies, suddenly made sure he was at home for dinner every night and kept his Sundays completely open and free for his children. He finally had an heir to the throne he had built from $500. Then the nightmare began. The adoption agency had failed to screen young John for genetic conditions. And John Jr. was diagnosed with sickle cell anemia, a disease that causes the blood cells to misshape and clog vessels, leading to an excruciating pain and organ damage. In the 1960s, there was no treatment. There was no cure. So John watched his son. What's this doing on my screen? John watched his son. Y'all watch this. Her daughter didn't get, oh my God. John Sr. watched his son grow up in constant agony. Despite the illness, John tried to follow in his father's footsteps. He worked as a staff photographer for Ebony and Jet and was known as a daredevil who loved motor racing, living life with the intensity of somebody that knew his time was short. He was a constant presence in the JPC hallways. He's always a reminder of the future John Sr. was building for him. But in December 1981, the end came. John Harold Johnson Jr. died at the University of Chicago's Weiler Hospital at just 25 years old. I got all the money in the world. I couldn't have a biological son. I adopted a son. He had sickle cell anemia. I got all the money in the world and it ain't gonna change it. The loss shattered the family. Health is more important, man, than money. That man would have gave all the money in the world to save that boy. John Sr. went back to work the following week, but his colleagues said he was never the same. He kept his son's office exactly the way it was. He kept his bedroom untouched. For the next 24 years, those rooms remained frozen in time, a shrine to the son that he couldn't save with all the money in the world. The tragedy left Linda as the sole heir to a massive, complex, this for you, King Sticks. The tragedy left Linda as the sole heir to a massive, complex media machine. John Sr. became even obsessed with the business, perhaps to distract him from this grief. He had built an empire meant to last generations, but he had lost the person he most wanted to run it. The grief would eventually manifest in a refusal to let go of the company. Even when the world changed around him, King Sticks, this where it happened. Not with Linda. The father's refusal to let the company go because he was gone because of his son, and work around it even when the world changed around him. He stayed in the CEO chair for longer than he should have, clinging to the past. While the digital future was already knocking at the door. He needed to let it go and let somebody who can look in the future. He was looking in the past. So when you come up here and talk about their daughter got tricked into selling the company, this what happens. Now, it was some betrayal happened, but she didn't get tricked. People have it like it's her fault. I even thought it was her fault till I did some research. Now I'm going to go to chapter 6. The storm nobody was waiting for. John Harold Johnson died. The man died August 8th, 2005. I'll never forget that day at the age of 87. Y'all got to realize now, I was going to all of this man stuff. Anything Johnson Publishing Company, I was going to Chicago, wherever the fashion fair models were, Robert Haddle was flying there. Because I knew some of the people who participated. He left a legendary legacy. The company, we're talking about the Johnson Publishing Company in case you just come on. The company he handed to his daughter, Linda Johnson Rice, was a house of cards. Go Google that. Go Google that right quick, King Sticks. The company that her dad left her was a house of cards. Oh, cause I know he ain't gonna look it up. Let me just tell you what Webster said about it. Okay? I'm gonna give you what Webster said about it. I'm gonna give you what that means. Wait a minute, hold on, get out of the way. A house of cards is a idiom that means a plan, an organization, or system that has a very weak and poorly built and likely to collapse at any moment. That is Moody. Was that good enough? It's an idiom that means a plan, an organization, a company, or system that is very weak, poorly built, and likely to collapse at any moment. That's what her dad left her. That's what her dad left her. Print advertising had been shrinking since the 1990s. And by 2005, it was in total collapse. Have you ever owned something before? You ever owned a company before, King Sticks? Have you ever founded a company and owned a company and lost a son who you thought was going to run the company, who you groomed to run the company, but you had to leave it to your daughter who wasn't groomed to run the company? Have you ever had made something for nothing before you get to talking about stuff you really don't know what you're talking about? Talking about they told her. Who in the hell is they? You know my favorite word. I can't. Who is they? Who is they? Ladies and gentlemen, just in case y'all can't understand, he talking about they told her they wasn't going to sell the company, sold it anyway. Well, that ain't got nothing to do with it. That I'm telling you what happened. The reason I'm telling you, you reading the book backwards. I'm going in chronological order and tell you about the house of cards, but you instead of you putting up the house of cards, you put up some more stuff that everybody already know. Ebony circulation had peaked and was now falling. Jet's weekly schedule, once its greatest strength, is now its biggest liability. Why? Why would it be its biggest liability? Since you know so much, why would it be its biggest liability? Printing and shipping a magazine every 7 days is costing millions. Quit typing and listen, son. You might learn something. Cost millions. I keep telling y'all. Y'all hear this, man? I watched the documentary. Ladies and gentlemen, whenever you watch a documentary, always have a book that you done read about it. The documentary gonna tell you what they want. Michael Jordan, The Last Dance, was a documentary by Michael Jordan. It's telling Michael Jordan's point of view. So if you watch the doc, did you have a book next to it? Did you have Succeeding Against All Odds next to you so you can read it? Eric, these people think this a game. Documentaries, man. You can't put that stuff on this screen because you're talking to a guy who done read the books. So all I'm trying to tell you is just hold on. I'm going to bring the story around. They told her. King Stick, don't you know right now, by all the stuff you done said on this show, don't you know I can go get a documentary and put a documentary out on you? And I just don't know everything about you though. So I had to be careful. You follow me? I had to be careful because I don't know everything. You follow me? I'm just trying to help you. You see, you listen, you read the doc every time, ladies and gentlemen. This is a history lesson. Whenever you read looking at a documentary, always have some other reference. I wrote a story on that one time. Whenever, I'm trying to see where I wrote it at. Whenever you watch, not just the book, sir, I just told you I've traveled all over with them. I've been to Johnson Publishing Company probably more times than Thaddeus Moody, and he live up there. I can take you to where the place is right now. Was apartment complex been built right in a place right now, a million times. When you walk in the building, because I know you haven't been, because you would understand. You walk in the building, it's like a walk-in museum. It tells you everything about the building. Who wrote the book? John Johnson and Lerone Bennett wrote the book. John Johnson, the guy who I'm talking about, and Lerone Bennett wrote the book. The guy who wrote Before the Mayflower, that's who wrote the book. You ready? You got something else? Never forget looking at a documentary on Sam Cooke. You see the thievery and the microcosm of what happened to Sam Cooke. But the only thing, but you have to know, you got to read other sources. In other words, see, you the kind of guy that would go, and the reason I'm saying this, because I know your history. You go on what's the name of this stuff we call it, Twitter, and you go on Twitter, and what's Twitter? You send me stuff about what didn't happen and ain't when stuff. You got to, whenever you, all I'm trying to do is help you. All I'm trying to do is help you. It's all right to not know. But whenever you listen to a documentary, when you read, just all I'm saying is just always have something. Have another source. I'm just trying to find, always have another, so that make him more credible than the doctor. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. So let me keep going, y'all. And the world where people were getting their news from, y'all. Hold up. That man said, so what makes him more credible? He the one who wrote this. He talking about his life. Hey, I can tell you ain't winning. Go Google the book then, man. The man who this is about, who I'm talking about, John H. Johnson, he wrote the book along with Lerone Bennett. Lerone Bennett is a writer. Like right now, in my book, I'm giving this dude all the information. She gonna write the book. Whoever is a he or a she, and a she, I don't know which one gonna write the book. King Sticks. But let me keep going. Because I was talking about how print advertising had been shrinking since the 1990s. And by 2005, it was in a total collapse. Ebony circulation had peaked and was falling down. Jet's weekly schedule was once its greatest strength, and now it's the biggest liability because printing and shipping magazines 7 days a week are costing millions. In a world where people were getting, Dad, don't argue at Dad. Lerone Bennett just wrote it along with John Johnson, y'all. I know he wrote it with him. Y'all got to go get the book. Just go get it. Go get it and read it. Just go read it. I got several more you need to go get about John Johnson, though. And then you got, man, if I finish telling my story, I can tell y'all where y'all can go find some more stuff at, if you let me finish telling the story. In a world where people were getting their news for free on the internet, Linda was running. Her dad left her running a 20th century company in a 21st century world. Headquarters, on Michigan Avenue. Do you understand? Everybody is not able to be on Michigan Avenue. If you keep on going down, what they call it, the $1 Million Mile. That headquarters in Michigan was a symbol of power. And now it was a financial drain. 2010, Linda was forced to sell the iconic building for just $8 million. Can you imagine the money that this dude, whoever got this building, have been making? And they bought it for $8 million. Hold on, y'all. Oh my God, I cannot believe this. Hold on one second.
Now arriving, the two-time Pro Bowler, fastest player in Ravens history to reach 100 career receptions, hailing from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, out of Boston College, wide receiver number 4, Zay Flowers.
You got a good voice.
The best safety in the league, two-time first-team All-Pro, the chess piece himself, number 14, Kyle Hamilton.
Let me get back to this, y'all. The buyers gutted it and turned it into apartments. The Johnson name was literally stripped. Give y'all something else to look at. Hold on one second. How would y'all like to be the high school player who had to guard this guy? I just had to give y'all, I had to take a quick break. But the Johnson name was literally stripped from the Chicago skyline. Think about that. See, if you ain't never built nothing, you ain't never owned nothing, this wouldn't really mean nothing to you. Hold on a second. You ain't never built nothing. That same year, Eunice Johnson passed away, y'all, at 83 years old. Oh, Brandon Weefall, you had to guard. But let me keep going. When Eunice died, she left Linda alone. Linda had to steer the ship. 2008, the recession had been the final blow. I know it's a lot of people a lot of people who went through some stuff during that time. The advertising revenue didn't just slow down, it fell off a cliff. Magazines, which had been profitable for decades, y'all, for decades. This man suddenly losing millions every month. JPC was carrying massive debt from the peak years, but now was no cushion left. Linda tried to pivot to digital, but the company was too slow. John Sr. had been so dedicated to the physical page that the company lacked the infrastructure to compete in a new, nimble digital media outlet. That building, Htx, that I used to go to frequently, it's not there no more. So when I tell stories like this, I draw from the information that I've experienced. I've walked up and down. I done been on every floor. I know that people thought I'd worked there. During the, what's the Olympics? 96 Olympics, when Penny played in the Olympics. One of the places we trained was in Chicago, Htx. So I was in Chicago for months. I forgot how long. I was in Chicago. I don't know how long we was there. I felt like I was there because I damn near thought I lived in Chicago. Them people at the 50-yard line in Chicago used to see me every night, every Tuesday or whatever night they used to have. So I've walked. This is a story that I've walked through with these people. So documentary is good, but I'm just telling you, it's additional stuff happens in the doc. Don't tell me, I seen the doc. Well, tell me you done read the book along with the doc. It's not either or, it's and. You follow me? But the culture of the company was, then I talked to a partner of mine, he just, he knew her ex-husband. So it's just so much stuff that the reason I tell a story like this, because I wanted to be him. Not in the public industry, but a guy that the guy that the presidents want to come ask advice from. But his son died and it changed him. And JPC was always a family business. The culture of the company was also stuck in the past. But you want to blame Linda because of what you saw on the doc. The company was run on loyalty and tradition. But the internet doesn't care about tradition. Because I saw it on the doc. And by the time the urgency was undeniable, the resources needed to fund a digital transition, it was already gone. They had used up their resources because they didn't pivot quick enough. The daddy just stayed in the past. The daddy was still, think about it. He left the son's office there for 5 years and can nobody go in it. And his home, and he was messed up. He couldn't have no kids. You got to understand the mindset. It's a great man. It's a great family. I don't want somebody says she ran today. No. Have you ever ran a business? A company that once employed 2,000 people and you got the, you trying to talk down on it. Was bleeding money faster than any turnaround plan could stop. The loyalty of the readers, which had taken 70 years to build, was now transferring to the screen that you're watching now. People who grew up with jets in their hand weren't interested in a jet app. The bond had been broken. Linda was left watching the empire of her father that he built from a $500 loan disintegrate in real time. Despite her desperate efforts to save it, she did everything she could to save it. And you talking about her. The fall wasn't just about bad management. It was about the brutal reality of an industry that had decided to leave print behind. Then I'm gonna give you chapter 7. How many minutes? Man, I got a guest finna come on. We'll do chapter 7 tomorrow. I could have got through this thing. Chapter 7, I'm gonna talk about the liquidation and the ultimate betrayal. What he talking about. Well, he trying to get to the end of the story. We'll talk about that on tomorrow. I'm waiting on my guest. He should be coming on in a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, I sit back here and watch this city. I watch these people in this city. I watched, I told dude the other day, shit, I might be from Memphis, but I've been here a long ass time. I was down there because I left Memphis when I was young to go other places and then wind up. And I was here more than I was in Memphis. Yes, I've been in Houston. So when I see stuff, I just want to be able to share with people. I remember months back, I don't know when it was, I was invited to take a look at this new school. I wasn't familiar with it. I see you, Coach. I wasn't familiar with it. I studied up on it, and I had to get to know. See, unlike other people, I just don't jump at stuff. I have to know those that I labor with. I got to know. If I'm going to get in something, I want to be in it at the top. So I just sit back and wait because I want to know. And I keep telling y'all, I never forget. I tell y'all this story. The reason I don't jump at stuff, never forget. I'm going to tell you the story one more time. I had these four or five guys I've been playing golf with. We've been kicking it. We've been cool. They wanted to do business. They had a great plan. I went to my financial guy. I said, man, check this plan out and see if it's right. Because I like the dudes. Let's see. And I want to invest. Now, this dude always tell me no about everything. But this time he said yes. I said, okay. So, Coach Sam, I sit there, never forget it. We in the Post Oak area, we in office, and I'm sitting there talking, and and I came there because it was the day I had the Robert had it's the time, it's the shit, you got the poop, I get off the pot. So I had to come, and say, okay, I'm a part of this. Hear my wire. Ladies and gentlemen, I did not show up. You know how people just don't show up. I showed up and told the guys, I just can't do it, man. I don't feel right. My mind, it just wasn't right. My spirit wasn't right. Let's not do it. It's a great plan. My guy who never tell me to do something, he said yes, and he don't never tell me nothing. He said, yeah, I never get it. Ladies and gentlemen, I walked out of there. They were hot at me. They were hot in Catfish Creek. I thought I had to whoop one of them. You know what I'm saying? I said, hey, player. hey, so, they, I walk out the room. Do y'all know about? Think about a year later, somebody sent me a link. Those 4 guys have been indicted for wire fraud, money laundering, and a whole lot of other things. And ladies and gentlemen, if my discernment wasn't right, if you in a room full of sharks and you can't peep it out, your prayer life better get better. Because that could have changed my life and everything. And all I'm doing is trying to invest. And they was doing something that I had no idea. I said, what? By the way, the dude, I fired him. Had to give me somebody else. But I had to tell you that story because I just don't hop into stuff. Even the people that advertise on this show, I don't hop into it. I know this man right here. I'm finna introduce y'all to right.
Yeah,
right.
713 call Joe. If you been injured, Joe Steven Law Firm. 713 call Joe. Car wreck, truck wreck, let Joe confirm. 713 call Joe. Need a pro on the K, let Joe take over.
What's up, Houston? This is Attorney Joe Stevens. I'm a former Houston Rocket with over 20 years of experience in the insurance industry and a decade of experience in the courtroom. I know how insurance companies operate, and I know how to fight back.
713 call Joe. 713 call Joe.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, when you don't know something, you call on the experts. I saw a tweet one day, and I'm gonna get this guy to help me to clear this thing up, because if they bring him on the screen and make sure there he is right there. I hope he can hear me. How you doing, Mr. Sim? Henry Sim.
I'm good, Coach. Thanks for having me.
Man, let me tell you something, man. I 180 degrees. And I thought about it, just 180. Because, people used to talk about the 360. No, 360 going to take you back to where you was.
Right there where you was at. Yes, sir.
You want to go away from where you was in another direction. Man, shout out to you, man. I'm proud of you, man. I'm glad I had somebody hook us up this morning. And because I got a question I want to ask from you. But tell people what's 100, because I've seen it. Hold up, watch this. Hold up, let me show you how I do. Let me see. I got the flyer up on the screen. I can make it bigger. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to, I can make it bigger if you want to see it. But I got a website. We got all that kind of stuff for you. But talk to me, man. Tell me about this phenomenon, because I know you went to HBCU, because and hold up, let me keep going. One of the reasons I had to have you on the show, because when we had Chop Shop night at HBC when Southern came, guess what? On Chop Shop night, you was there. So, and hold up, a lot of y'all wasn't there, and then some of y'all couldn't make it, I understand, but he was there. You know what I'm saying? Him, who are Eric Boone and Leah Nash and several other people. They were there. Eric Harrison, they were there. But Sam, I heard, I'm gonna let you talk about 180, and then I got a question for you. Tell me about 180 Degrees Academy.
But when you first of all, I want to tell you thanks for having me on this platform. This platform, I think it does a lot for our basketball community. All right, not just our basketball community, but for our youth that's coming up that listen to your show. This is a platform that just not only talk about sports, but you talk about life. You just talk about discernment. You just talked about your prayer life. And I know it took a lot of discernment for you to have me on this show. So I just want to tell you thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
180 degrees, you mentioned. Not the 360, because you're right back to where you started from. But the 180 degrees allow you to look back to where you come from, and allows you to see to where you're going. All right.
Okay.
So it positions you in a spot to take back the tradition, the foundation, and allows you to look forward to the vision. And vision is very important, and 180 degrees has a vision.
Okay. What's your biggest What did you as an educator sit back and say, look, because when I hear the great speakers, when I hear John Henry Clark, when I hear W.B. Du Bois, they said, we why would we have the people who oppress us educate us? What? It's certain things they don't want you to know. You follow me? Why would I teach you something? I'm not going. If I go to, and I ain't gonna tell y'all no story. I wish I had went to HBCU. Yeah, they would have had a monster. They would have had a monster. They better be glad they had me over there at that PWI. But they would have created a monster because every time I travel around and go into these campus, coach, I didn't go and hang out on Grambling. I've been there to recruit a player. I didn't go hang out Alcorn. Only time I ever been to Alcorn trying to go get Steve McNair. But yeah, coach, my
That was a
phone
good
wouldn't
one.
work.
That was a great one. That was a
Boy,
great one.
I was hard on Fred McNair, Jack man. We'll tell that story one day. Fred McNair.
Yeah.
I'm glad he didn't get the TSU job because I'd have been mad at him. But you coming from HBCU, what made you do this, man? You didn't have to do it. What made
Well,
you do it?
Well, first of all, I come from a family of educators. My mom is an educator. My sister now is a current principal with HISD. So education is important. And from a biblical standpoint, 2 Timothy 2:15 says, study to show yourself approved to God, a workman need not to be ashamed. Right, dividing the word of truth. Right? So education, the way we see it today, we saw it yesterday, and the way we're going to see it tomorrow is changing. So the past positions I've had and the past programs that I've been involved with allowed me to see something where I think I can make a difference.
Hey, coach, do me a favor to go out and come back in. Go out and come back in. He's on a cell phone in a car, so it's gonna be interference because this was important. I want him to come back in on that one. Y'all see, this the kind of stuff, y'all, I love. I wish you was somewhere. Let's see. You back, coach?
Yes, sir.
So anytime that happens, just go out and come back in. It's just your signal because you're in a car is gonna mess up a little bit. But keep going. Talk to me.
Okay. So just my past positions. I served over at Provision Academy. I served at St. Pius. So I've been in a private school. I've been in a charter school. I have history and HIT. So just want to make a difference and be able to be an alternative, not the answer,
Go.
but the
Go, do.
alternative.
Coach, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna cut this off, right? I want you to call me. Because something is happening in that area. Call me and we'll just talk. Because your words are more important than us seeing your face now. I'm gonna just tell you the truth. So your words are important. So call me and I'm gonna hook you up with the phone and we'll talk. Because these words are too important. Okay? Y'all understand? See what I'm saying, y'all? Something don't want us to hear this. But guess what? We finna hear it today, baby. Soon as he called me, it's on. It's on. Called me from a regular, hold up, I could have called him. Hold on. Oh, there you go. There you go. Let me see. Coach, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
So talk to me, man.
Just want to be an alternative, adder to everything that's going on from an academic standpoint to a sports standpoint, and also from a cultural and social economic standpoint. Often on your show, I hear you talk about legacy. I hear you talk about owning your own. We as a people, what do we own? Well, we can't own nothing if we don't know how to own it. If we don't have the educational background and the facilities, the faculties to make sure that we can properly, as you just mentioned in that story that you mentioned about the documentary and the book, how do we have the capacity to own our own? What's the legacy we're leaving behind? How are we teaching our youth? So that's what kind of encouraged me to establish 180 degrees.
How many students do you have?
We're currently doing enrollment right now.
Okay.
We're not doing anything big. I'm not trying to have 100 plus on our campus.
Okay.
We're looking for an intimate setting, right?
Okay.
Focusing on student athletes, but our niche would be sports, something that I know that is kind of dear to you, sports broadcasting.
Okay.
Right? I was on the circuit, and what kind of caught my attention to the sports broadcasting piece. How many times we go to these games and we see these young videographers filming games? Sports broadcasters, you know, if you had someone that was following up in your footsteps, learning how to broadcast the game. Video technology, videography is huge with our youth. That technology is taking over. And just want to give our youth and our student athletes an opportunity to do something that's fun and enjoyable, and also talk about that sports business part, right? There's more to basketball than dribbling and shooting. The business part of it, which you know so very well, is taking over.
I like that. And I'm going to tell you, this the sports broadcaster really is not you know what it is? It was a calling. I don't know. You think about it. I'm glad you brought that up, because I just came on the show. Who's that? Chris Walker invited me on the Chop Shop, right? And just invited me. I wasn't thinking about it. I could have went to school for it if I wanted to, but I just didn't even ever think about it. I wanted to be the guy behind the camera, not the one in front of the camera. And I'm giving this, I hope some youth are out there listening now. And what happened was, by me being on this show, Donna Franklin at KTSU saw the show. She passed by somebody on office in the cubicle, and they saw me on the show, and she said, "Who is that? Could we get him to call? Can we get in touch with him?" Ralph Cooper called me, and the rest is history. So it's crazy, Sam. That's just how it happened. But
let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Athletes now.
Huh?
Look at retired athletes. What's the biggest thing now? The pivot.
Yes.
Look at all our athletes.
Yes.
That have their podcasts.
Yes.
Right. So I think that's just the way. Not only that, but them having jobs on networks like ESPN, ABC. That's where that's just. I think that's a trend. That's where athletes are going.
It's really. I am glad you said that, because when the young kids go, I mean, think about it. When you go to a big basketball, let's say you go to U of H basketball game, just look around the table. Those are jobs around there.
Yep.
It's just, you don't have to just be a player all the time. But when they was talking, I'm gonna tell you what I had to call you about, because somebody tweeted something. Somebody tweeted something. I ain't gonna call their name. They ain't important. But they messed around and hit. See, when I know what you've been doing, because I've been studying it. I've been watching what you've been doing. Okay? I've been watching. So, and somebody posted that poster I just posted on the screen.
Yes, sir.
Somebody posted it, I guess, in support of you. Right? In support of the program. And then somebody had the comment saying, "Another dumb idea. Just go to the school in your area." A lot of public schools need to make it more attractive so that these type of new schools won't pop up. I can name you so many parents and players that went to these schools and they are a failure. Stop this madness. How did you feel? All the work that you're doing, really, you can be transparent with us. I'm glad you. How did you really? I know how you felt, but being in your position of power and the work that you've been, I know I've got some of the emails, so I know you've been working. You feeling me? So yeah, tell me how you felt.
I was befuddled. How about that?
I like that.
At first.
Okay.
Due to the fact that I'm visible, Hatter. And when you see people walk by your table, take a flyer, when you speak to these guys, Houston is very small. Our basketball community is small. I guess what we call our OGs, those that paved the way for guys like myself to have a presence in the grassroots spectrum. I hold a lot of respect for those guys. And when they take the opportunity to use a platform to say something negative. When if I had a lighter shade of black on me, and I come from a different territory, they may not have made that same comment. I wish we as a community would come together to grow our community instead of tearing it apart. Right? Because these people that have comments, we all have comments, we all have opinions. We must respect each other's opinions, right? But the way we present those opinions matter to our community. Because his voice has power. Certain people listen to the person that made that post. Right? Right? But then I took a couple days back, took a few phone calls. Maybe he wasn't talking about me. Maybe he was talking about HISD got to do better.
Oh, I like that.
Okay? So to give him some credit and look at the positive side of it, spinning it, maybe he's putting pressure on his employer to say, hey, we got to do better as a district to keep our students in place.
Gotcha.
But the older me said that. The younger me was trying to figure out where I can see him at I can really get.
I know. Coach, these new schools pop up and they were a failure.
Yes, sir.
That don't mean nothing.
Well, and that's because of the support, right? And yes, there are some failures, but there are some people that are doing some good things out here in this grassroots basketball.
Right.
From a scholastic standpoint, I want to highlight ELP over there with Coach Willis. He just got his accreditation. Big props to him.
ELP. What is that again?
Yes, sir. ELP. That's over there with Coach Willis.
Coach Willis, yes.
He just got his accreditation. That's huge for him, right? And that just lets us know, because I was back, we were doing this. I was doing this with Gilbert Good back at Provision Academy.
Yeah.
We were going against Deion Sanders with Prime Prep.
Yeah.
When they had that going, right? So he not only failed, but he transitioned to something different. And that's where I kind of got our foundation from. Right? There are new things that are popping up. One Word Academy is popping up. All these brands, you talked about the swag.
Yeah.
Who has the best band in the swag? Southern.
I'm gonna stay out of that.
We can argue about who has the biggest boom, who has the greatest band, drum major, dancing dolls, all that.
Right.
Each school has its own different flavor, own different niche.
Gotcha.
And I think we as a community just gotta see what fits best for that child and that student athlete. That's it. We're losing kids, Hatter. We're losing. We done lost a number of kids in the past 2 weeks. From the kids going to dynamic prep. We got one of the biggest names in Houston basketball, Elijah Warren. He just took his son out of Houston.
What are they looking for?
That goes back to that swag band piece. Some people may be looking for the trumpets. Some people may be looking for the drums. Some people may be looking for the dancers. All right.
But Coach, think about what you just said. You got to help me with this one. You got to talk me off the ledge.
Go ahead.
Talk me off the ledge. Elijah Warren, what are you doing? What are your kids chasing? They got their own gym at their house.
It may not be chasing something, Hatter, right?
Okay.
It may not be something.
They might be getting away from something.
If you ain't running away from something, you're running to something.
Oh.
Right? So we look at the kids from Beaumont. I had an opportunity to work with those kids, quality kids from Beaumont, kids from Angleton. Had an opportunity to spend the summer with them. Each of those parents had a different rationale and different reason for moving their kids to a certain situation.
Okay.
And it may not be something for you and I to understand, but if it works best for that parent and that student athlete, we have to.
Yeah. But we can question it, can we?
We can question it, but after we question it, that's where 180 degrees come in at. I try to provide a solution.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I'm trying to check all the boxes, right?
Whoa. Hold up. Stop this. So you telling me you trying to have a place where, man, you don't have to go nowhere. Wherever you think you can get there, I promise you can get it here. That's what you're saying.
I'm checking all of it. It's not a box you can tell me. Accreditation from our classes and our school is accredited. Gym time, multiple hours of gym time, high elite trainers, have those guys. A schedule. We'll be on the grind session. That's one of the top levels that these kids are striving for right now.
Okay.
From a development standpoint, we're gonna get you developed. We're not just if you take coming from a different AU program, and once again, had it just an alternative. I'm not trying to take anyone from their home school.
Okay.
That's not my goal or objective. I'm only providing an alternative to what you may feel your son is missing. And since it's Women's Rock Wednesday, I'll be remorse. I even have an all-girls academy piece, all-girls middle school, okay, where it's just so strictly STEM, and academics. Right? Our program for our student athletes, we have our Monday through Thursday, and we kind of tier it from 7 to 12 is when we're doing our academics, and at 1 to 3 is when we're doing our sports-specific program. Basketball, boxing, we have all those things in place. And we have a group of board members, former NFL, former NBA, professional boxers, a good foundation of supporters to help us get this thing off the ground.
Do you have a brick and mortar?
Had it once again. I check all the boxes. And that brick and mortar, we don't have to go from one gym to another gym, to another classroom.
So where's your headquarters?
Our headquarters was 2026, right off of Herman Drive. The Justin Robinson Jr.
No, I love over there.
I know you love over there because you play golf. Golf is something that we, Miss Milana, is helping us with our golf program.
Wow.
That we can have. Not only that, we right close to TSU, right close to U of A.
Yes.
We're in partnership with U of A, TSU, for our dual credit programs and also with ACC. Okay? So it's not a box we don't check. I want to make sure we check all the boxes, from training to academics to, most of all, I don't want to go without mentioning our character development standpoint. Our kids are struggling with just social and emotional learning, right?
Wow.
Being able to not only manage that NIL money, but also being able to avoid the distractions that the NIL money may cause. And any traumas that our student athletes or our students may be going through, we have programs to help them through those programs as well. So once again, we check every box, and we are constantly working to make sure if there's a student need, a student have interest. We even have esports, right? That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, that's huge right now. Yeah.
Yeah. You even compete on, they getting scholarships.
Yeah.
Right? That goes once back again to that business of sports.
So hold up, Sam. Hold up. I want you to help me because I want to get here because this is important. So it's a lot of other schools have failed, right? So people got this little thing about every time you see a school like this. So I know you're checking all the box, but you said something earlier. You said, Robert, it's a new way to educate out there. It's a new thing that and I don't know if you was listening to the show earlier. I was talking about the Johnson Publishing Company and how John H. Johnson, the dad, just stayed in the past too long. He had a 20th century model, but he was trying to do business in the 21st century, and it just wasn't working for Ebony and Jet. They didn't pivot quick enough into the digital age. You saying you've seen the failures of the past. You've been around schools that didn't do in other words, they're not there anymore. So you're saying you're taking all of that information and making sure this particular situation manifests. We can be talking about this 30 years later.
Hopefully so, because you mentioned about the digital platform, right? What we have is what we call a blended learning platform.
Say it again.
Blended learning platform.
Blended, okay.
Blended learning. So we're taking the traditional. We have 3 levels of whether we provide our education. We got our in-person instructor.
Okay.
All right. We got our teacher of record, which is a certified teacher. And we also have that assisted technology. You may call it AI, but it allows us to take that traditional education, where the teacher's giving you the lesson face to face.
Uh-huh.
Then it also gives you that AI, that digital piece where you can go and do your learning. You and I may not learn at the same pace.
Yes.
But we may be doing the same subject.
Okay.
Right? Right now, when you put something in ChatGPT, it give you an answer, give me an answer. We both may put the same question there, but it depends on, as you know, the prompt. Right?
Uh-huh.
And our academic, where we are academically, can be put in that prompt and gives us a specific learning course to help us with that, to help us learn.
Wow.
Okay, so no matter what issue you may have of the way you learn, we have something that's structured to your specific learning style. You and I learn differently. So our digital learning platform allows it to give us a specified learning platform for each individual.
I want you to do me a favor. I want you one day to find out that at 1 o'clock one day, give me a 1 o'clock time slot where you are in an office and by a computer so we can do this face to face instead of on the phone or in the car and at your leisure. But I'm just glad you helped me out a little bit today. Now I understand a lot more, and I know people. I was gonna give them a chance. Y'all do me a favor, save all your questions because he's gonna be back on soon, and so he can talk to you face to face. So me and him can be face to face because this phone is good, but man, I want to get there so me and you can just sit there and hash this thing out. Because if it's that great for this community, we need to be talking about it. We need to be sharing it. You know, I was thinking about this weekend. They had the the big three in town this on Sunday. I didn't even know how in the hell you ain't gonna tell nobody on the Chop Shop that you in town so we can get all these people to be on the Chop Shop to be there. I can't understand it to save my life. It's just, and then hold up now, Sam. Then it wasn't nobody there and it flopped where they can't support me. Man, you got to tell people about this where you at. You follow me? And so that's, I mean, it kind of got to me a little bit. But I want you to come back on.
Yes, sir.
Because it's just certain things that I just want to talk about. I'm serious. We really need to get in a situation where we can share these kind of things with the community. Okay?
And I think we as a Houston community, we have to do a better job. You're doing a great job with the platform that you have. You constantly telling people share the show, share the show.
Yeah.
It's not just share the show, share the information that you're giving out.
Yes.
Yes. So I commend you and I appreciate you. I thank you once again.
All right, we're gonna get back together now. Let me know for real. And me and you come on, we're gonna really get it in. All right?
All right, it will be soon. I appreciate it.
Okay, baby. All right, bye.
Thank you.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, I wanted to continue that, but I wanted to be able to talk to him, you know, face to face. And y'all know, because we did a sound check. It was good doing the sound check, but once you on the phone and you out there and everybody passing by you, those signals, it's gonna mess up. You got to be somewhere stable so you can so you can look like this. Doug Jones, what's up, baby? But ladies and gentlemen, I looked it up, and in case I want y'all to go and look it up. 180 degrees academy, and tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you feel. Because this is just so, man. It's so much stuff going out here, and if our kids got a chance to have something viable in this city, instead of going to Link Academy, why can't one of them guys from they talking about Phoenix got all the good players? Why can't they come here? Yo, this is one of the greatest cities. I can live anywhere I want to. My grandbaby in LA, but I'm in Houston. I kind of want to move out there. But this home. So I know if I like Houston, them other kids, you can get whatever you want out of Houston. You ain't too far from the West Coast. You ain't too far from the East Coast. And if we had a viable place for people to go, and notice, watch this. He sat there and this is what I love about it. He sat there and talked about the other programs around the city that's doing great things similar to he do. He didn't talk down on them. He talked about Coach Willis out there. Coach Willis doing some hell of stuff out there. He talked about one word. I'm not familiar with all of these things, but he talked about these other academies. He said, I mean, it didn't hurt him to do that. He did it because and then he said, I'm an educator. It makes me proud when educators like himself sit and come and watch this show. He know about all the stuff that I've been talking about and we've been sharing on this show. Just an educator. You follow me? So that's why I keep telling y'all this platform, this ain't about me. It's about the message. It's about the message. We so versatile that we can talk. And I'm sitting there, we was talking about the other day, we was just talking about how these talk shows I'm talking about from the past, the radio shows, this the old black radio tradition. I told y'all every single day, I follow Joe. Joe Madison is a guy that I follow and model myself. And he talks about events all over the world. Yes, I'm gonna talk about sports. I love sports. I wanna talk about Draymond Green getting on his podcast cast and talking crazy, trying to talk about another team. But watch this, y'all. We done got so out here now. Draymond Green got on his podcast and talking about Philadelphia. Talking about, watch this. VJ Edgecombe will now be the fifth option for the 76ers after LeBron came. Watch this. If I'm VJ Edgecombe's agent, I'm not sure if I'm happy with the summer that the Sixers have. Like you go from being sometimes a second option when Embiid is out, to now you're the fifth option. I don't understand. I don't know if y'all understand like how big that is. That ain't for you to say, player. Trey Phillips. That ain't for you to say. Draymond, you hating. You knocking on another team. You trying to sow some discourse in a young man in his agent's mind because LeBron and them didn't come to your team. Public school, y'all, in case you didn't know, King Sticks, it's just recent history that we've been invited and be able to go to a public school. See, I just hate y'all get up here and don't know your damn history. Public school is not the end of, why you think so many people taking people out of public schools? Public school, they go jailbreak the universities. Why you paying all of this money? Go online and get the same degree. Don't come telling me about I'm not knocking the school. Yes, your ass did knock the school. Dude. Do you have a positive the only thing you ever said anything about positive on this show is when you talked about Tim Moore's son. And then I found out you grew up with him. So if a person didn't grow up with you, you got something negative to say. Every other team in the SWAC ain't nothing. Because you done walked on the yard at Prairie View. Dude, I'm trying to be an example. I'm not knocking the school, but I look at it as another school taken away from public schools. You can win and lose from. You don't have to. You have to have options. Who's saying the public schools are great? You gonna knock me from I want to send my son to a private school? My son went to Kincaid, and he would have stayed there if he didn't say he wanted to go to his neighborhood school. Public school ain't the answer with everybody, brother. Have you been reading the news? Public schools are allowed to take certain books out that you can't read, so you won't be able to read that book I just told you about that I know you ain't gonna read. Public schools. They taking the 19 project out of public school, and you telling me about, dude, you're talking to a guy that actually read and studies, not a guy who go on YouTube and a guy who go on what's that other thing, Twitter. You are knocking it. Whenever you got to say what you ain't doing, you're doing it. Public school system. What are they teaching? You got the Project 2025, and you got their people in office right now tell you what books not to read in public schools. They can't tell no private school what to do. And you see how uninformed that comment was. I'm for real. See, on this platform, we bring something to help, not harm. We bring a brick to help build this building. And make sure your brick is not made, and make sure some straw in your brick. You feel me? Son, it's amazing. We can't do that, man. We got to do better, man. And I know sometimes you just cut it off because you can't be. See, that's why I have to repeat stuff. Because faith comes by hearing and hearing. And I just don't think you've been listening, bro. That's all. I don't think you've been listening. But let's get back to this. Out of all of that man came on here and said, you didn't comment on none that he said. You comment on talking about, I'm not knocking on the other school. And that's what you did. You're going to knock Linda Rice, but you ain't never owned a multi-million-dollar business. Come on, baby. Come on. You bigger than that now. Bigger than that. But I was just thinking about that. I was going through some stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, I saw some on the news. I'm finna talk about some a little bit different because some people just don't listen, man. Some people just don't. Somebody said, as a thank you, I got somebody that's, as an educator for over 20 years, I would agree with you, Hannah. Public schools are not for everyone. It's not. It's unfortunate that the options and the tools to become a comprehensive person are limited and banned. Yes, I'm seeing it because I travel around the world. I went to public schools. Shit, I wish I had My mama and daddy would put me in a position I put my son and my daughter. I got to talk about her more too, because she bad. She bad. She bad. But I was thinking about something. I'm watching Draymond Green sitting there talking negative about the acquisitions and talking to a young player on another team and his agent about LeBron and trying to sow discourse in another team. That's hating. And I don't think nobody challenged him on it. And then I go in here and I want to know how these people know. I've been hearing this. LeBron is living in New York City, isn't going to sit right with his new fans base. Because somebody said, LeBron said he going to live in New York and commute to Philly. I ain't heard LeBron say it. I ain't heard Savannah say it. I ain't heard Zuri say it. I ain't heard Bronny say it. I haven't heard, what's the other boy name? Bronny and Bryce. I ain't heard none one of them say it. But people are talking about this man. He would ingratiate himself so much to that market just by getting a spot in Philly and being there. Then you had this dude right here. Y'all just got to listen. Some of this stuff, man, I just don't. Hold up. I probably didn't put it up on the screen. Where he at? Watch this.
Oh, the Sixers might have just been waiting for a decision where it was them against themselves. Like in Rocky 4, when he says, "You ever think it's you against you?" Like, because really, I don't know. Like, I don't know that the Cavaliers really wanted him. They were silent throughout the entire run with LeBron, and I didn't get any. Oh, how did he say no to us again? How did LeBron do this again? People burning their jerseys. They were silent throughout the entire run. So I wonder if they just had very lukewarm interest in LeBron.
And the Rich Paul saying maybe retirement, that was a realistic option.
The only place that was into him for a year or two was the Sixers. I'm taking 2 years and $8 million, because even as much as the Sixers wanted him, they weren't going to give him money. I wonder if, and I'm seeing this more now, the Sixers were the only option he had. It was either the Sixers or retire. Like that, forget about all the other teams. That's kind of, when it came down to it, forget about the narrative that was put.
Did y'all hear that? Jason, whatever your name is. No other teams were talking, but yet zero business was being done in the free agent market for at least 3 weeks, and Adam Silver was asking LeBron James to make a decision. Just say you're mad, bro, and move on. Don't sit here and talk negative about this, man. J.J. Redick did it, and nobody said nothing. He played for Philly, lived in Dumbo. But I guess it's LeBron James. And somebody got to help me with this too. Women, it's Women Rock Wednesday. I got a powerful woman. I just want to share this to y'all. Then I go back to this. Cause I got to share her. Cause I can't. She all right. She all right. I like women in power. Watch this.
What's the difference between a good NFL franchise on the business side and a great one? I think a great one, and I'm going to talk, just you said business, I'm going to talk about revenue, is one that not only is able to sell incredible partnerships and create meaningful partnerships, but retain them while growing them and having those partners even talk amongst themselves and talk about why it makes sense to partner with this team. And that goes back to investing in people and those relationships, and why and what we stand for. I think it's helped us be great because it's so important when you have a partner come and say, help us get more involved in the community. Where should we invest? Where should we go? That's the type of partnership you're looking for, right? Something beyond a ribbon board in a stadium, but someone, and the calls that we're getting on, what youth football team should I really get behind? What's the biggest need here in Las Vegas? That means they're trusting us on where to spend their dollars beyond our team. I think things like that are what makes this great, because as people move on and go to different careers or different companies.
Y'all know who that is, right? That's Sandra Douglas Morgan. She has been a woman that rock on this show before. Attorney, football executive, the presidente of the Los Angeles Raiders. She don't handle she gonna fire somebody though. She don't handle the winning. She's the business mind. And if you ever go out there, if you have the advantage to go out there in Vegas and watch one of them games, you're going to understand her impact. But let her finish.
They're going to take that relationship with them, right? So I think things like that make us great. I think I think another thing that makes the distinction between good and great teams are people. And I say this not in a, retention is incredibly important, but again, helping people grow. Right? So if I have someone here that is maybe a manager or director and they have a different opportunity to go to a different team, I feel that's great for the Raiders. We're helping and helping them grow their career professionally. And I hope that they'll say, hey, when things get better, I want to go back and bring back what I've learned in different places. I think that's what makes people great. When people want to be a part of that team.
What's the difference?
Leah, baby, that's why I didn't comment. It's 45 minutes away by helicopter. Okay? She asks, isn't New York 45 minutes away? No. It's 45 minutes away by helicopter. LeBron, man, I don't want you getting on no helicopter every day. And if everybody on here, they know why I don't want him to do that. But y'all, I wanted to play this today because Women Rock Wins is my favorite day of the week. And let me go here. Well, can I watch this? Watch this.
A lot of people don't understand. We can't be anything but black. I met a black student who goes to a black college because they don't like white people. We have black colleges for the same reason that Jews have Yeshiva and Brandeis, for the same reason that Catholics have Holy Cross and Notre Dame, for the same reason that the Mormons have an entire state called Utah that they have no intention of giving back to the United States. Because we live in a culturally pluralistic society. Now, we are going to have to teach, we who are black, are going to have to teach everyone in this society that a desegregated society means respect for everyone and every group, equality of movement, and the ability of any black student to go to any white university, the ability of any white student to go to any black university, the ability for any Jew to go to any Catholic institution, etc. That's the segregation. The segregation does not mean the elimination of black culture. A lot of people don't understand. We can't be anything but black. And we can use all the words we want, desegregate, integrate, merge. We still are going to be black. And we who are black have decided we're not going to let anybody destroy our colleges because we cannot survive in America without them. Only 20% of black students go to black colleges. 80% of black students go to white colleges. But 7 out of 10 of the black students who go to black college graduate. 7 out of 10 black students who go to white colleges never graduate in graduate programs at white universities. 75% of all the advanced degrees go to black students who went to black colleges. That's when black students from black colleges and black students from white colleges get together and compete. 3/4 of the advanced degrees go to those from black colleges. 1 out of every 250 black athletes at a white university graduates. The University of Georgia has graduated 6 black athletes since 1971. We're not finishing white colleges. And if we don't have black colleges, we're not going to graduate. We're not going to have a leader. A lot of people don't understand. We can't be anything.
Tony Brown, y'all, his words seems particularly poignant today. I remember him. As a young man, I remember him. Tony Brown's journal. He had command. I used to sit down and listen to him. I didn't know what the hell he was saying. But I think about Coach Sims coming on this show today, and I look at Leah Nash. I look at Betsy's boy. I look at King Sticks. I look at Trey Phillips. I look at Bailey. I look at D. Jones, Doug Jones. I look at Doug. We have curated a lane that is very deliberately open and inquisitive and inviting. Even a person who just constantly putting all kind of stuff on these comments, I'm allowing him to be heard. The vision for this platform can really be so amazing if we were to share the information and share the show. All of us with these platforms around the world we have a lot better than people like Tony Brown and them did, because they were curated. Your boy Ryan Clark, he couldn't say what he wanted to say on ESPN. That's why they fired him. Because in the past, you had to comply with the outlets that they had. There was no YouTube. There was no TikTok. There was no Instagram. They didn't have these democratized spaces where we can just hit play and press record and pop in your little image up on the screen up and just produce. Those people back then, like Tony Brown, they were inside a construct. And it's weird to me that people care more about power and control than they do about actually doing the job. And that is to educate the people. You don't want no power and no control. I just want to make sure somebody benefited from what Henry Sims said today. And what I'm finding out, this is not the job for a lot of people. They don't get on here to try to educate you. They don't. They get on here to entertain you. I remember when I first learned that presidents of colleges, their main job is fundraising. When I was younger, I thought the president of college, they had the vision for the college. No, their job is to bring in money. That's their job. And even when you bring in the money should be for a purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, this show should never fall to one person to be able to shape anything. I'm gonna need Thad Moody. I need Eric. I need Leah. I need all of y'all. All of us need each other. We need to have an idea. We need to have a brick. Y'all need to have some. This is an opportunity to imagine what this thing can be. People all over the country telling me this. They said, Robert, do your people know how? We ain't got that in here in LA. My imagination is here, and you have Leah got a big imagination. Thaddeus Moody got a big imagination. Betsy Boy got a big imagination. And we meet up, and the whole thing get what? Bigger. How many more minutes? I got 4 more minutes. Too many people want to control the entire process, and they don't want the thing to get any bigger than them. I want this to be way bigger than all of us. And I think that's sad. one of the anchoring tenets that I do here is to remind ourselves of each other and welcome everybody here always, even the people I don't agree with. You give me a headache, but I'm trying to get to build off that momentum of memory and to say we've been here before. But then we haven't been here before. I was thinking about reading up some commentary on Booker T. Washington. They say he had an ego, Robert. He wanted to do it his way, yeah. Okay. But Tuskegee University is still standing. Ego aside, them people and their commitment to the race is a thing that you can't question. I, Robert Hatter, want to be around creativity. That's why I ask y'all, what y'all like, what y'all want, I want to be around. Bring y'all bricks. Everybody, starting tomorrow, bring something. And listen, if you make a mistake, we'll deal with it later. It's a beautiful thing to watch people put on their wings and fly. And I don't have to tell them to do this and do that. What's up, Sick Rick? Rick, I found out y'all kind of famous over there, your little team over there in Sunnyside. Yeah. Ralph Cooper posted it somewhere. Because to succeed, we're going to need everybody's input. Y'all got me? What's needed out here that I can't see? Then you bring it. You bring it, Doug. You bring it, Trey. You bring it, Kevin Freeman. I can't see everything, Rick. And if you make a mistake, it's a part of learning. There's no failures here. We're going to figure it out. The audience will give you grace. You know I ain't going to let... I had a great man come over here talking about a great thing they're doing. Then we had somebody come on here with his opinion. But your opinion's got to be backed up with facts. Let's keep growing, y'all. That's why I love Women Rock Wednesday. Let's keep growing. Sean Davis, what's up? Let's keep growing. I hate where we live in a culture where somebody sits on the throne, kowtowing, and people kowtowing to that person who is usually a very limited and mediocre, like that president we got. And they got there, I don't know, because somebody liked them. Definitely one quarter qualified. Ladies and gentlemen, my partner who watched this show that lives in LA and one in New York, he said, this society rewards mediocrity, not intelligence and brilliance like this, Robert. The more mediocre you are, the less of a treat you are. Y'all, I'm just sitting there. And it's easier. And the easier it is to entice you into a situation where they just pump you up. At least for you non-white folks. You non-white folks, you people that look like me. You gotta watch it. Y'all, I enjoyed myself. Thank you, Henry Sims. Thank you, 180 Degrees. I can't wait to see what's in the future for y'all. Let's make it bigger. Let's make it better. They got accredited situations over there. All they need is your players. You don't have to leave the city. And let me tell you something. If you do take your kid over there because you saw this on this Chop Shop, I got to make sure your kid succeed. Did y'all hear what I said? I got to make sure. I can't wait till tomorrow. I got some stuff I want to talk to y'all about tomorrow. I'm gonna finish the Johnson Publishing Company with the assistance of with King Sticks tomorrow. Cause he'll have some, he's been and read a book probably by tomorrow. But thank y'all so much. I appreciate with this Women Rock Wins. All the women out there, we love you. We love you so much. We have a day every day is really Women Rock Wednesday, but this is the day. Wait a minute. Yeah, Sophie Cunningham, averaging 8 points a game. Somebody done gave her a shoe. Thank you, Rick. We'll talk about it tomorrow. We'll talk about it tomorrow. I'm out of here, y'all. I got to go. Got people waiting on me. See you later.